Welcome to another Red Raider Outfitter Insider Mailbag. I'm Jared Johnson. I'm joined by the Mighty Joe Yeager. Mighty Joe, man, we're here in front of the Jones. Big game, obviously, coming up, 7 o'clock against Arizona State. The players won't admit it, the coaches won't admit it, but a little revenge on the mind of a lot of Red Raiders. First off, how you doing, and then what do you think about the game coming up?
Yeah, doing great, man. Yeah, just all I can say for this one is there's going to be some fireworks in this game. I mean, people are going to be talking about this one afterwards for a while, and I don't know exactly how it's going to shake out. I haven't got the crystal ball or anything like that. Nobody does. But I guess something's going to pop. Something's going to happen in this game. So I'm saying, everybody, if you're going to watch one game this year, you better watch this, because this is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, you talk to a lot of students now, and they don't really know about the magic of night games at the Jones like it used to be. The ones that didn't come here as kids. And I'm really hoping that can kind of that it does revive. And I think this week is a good start.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have some great questions from y'all. Let's jump into them. All right, Red Raider KA wants to know the status of Eli Howard. Do we expect to see him at any point this season, or he and Joe Wallace focusing on academics? I hope they're focusing on academics because they haven't been apparently since the end of last year. It's really disappointing for me personally to see guys like Delaney Howard, who come on. Basically, he had the inside track at being the starting running back as a true sophomore at a Power 5, one of the most powerful offense attacks. Who recently had a first-team All-Big 12 running back. So it's not like you can't have personal accolades too. A guy who's playing in the NFL, and of course Dre Washington. So, it's just disappointing to see that. And then the same thing with Joe. He would be playing a lot. They really needed Joe this year, and basically he didn't get it done in the classroom, and there are some other things going on. But I am glad in some way that they're sticking with them and not just giving up with them, because while there may have been a lot of little things like with Joe, and then obviously De Leon with school, there wasn't. I don't know if there was ever anything just like, pass. Crossing the line of no return. Let's put it that way. So they didn't just give up on these guys. So I hope there's a happy ending or whatever for everybody here. But I don't believe we'll see Delaney Howard this season, except for as far as any meaningful snaps. Maybe they'll give him some snaps like in garbage time or something towards the end of the season, so they can kind of dangle that carrot out there for him. Hey, if you keep coming on, then okay, you'll see the field. But he's definitely not playing this week. Right. So we'll keep tabs on that. And my guess is we won't see him this year, other than garbage time snaps.
Yeah, I think there's a slight chance with Ward. Obviously, there's no chance with Wallace.
No chance with Joe.
Yeah. Probably a pretty good decision on Kingsbury's part. I mean, because it's not just academics too. I mean, Cliff has said on a couple occasions, these guys have got to grow up. Yeah. They've got to do the right things off of the field, and it's there's other stuff going on there. So you, by redshirting those guys, you eliminate the possibility of them becoming any sort of a distraction or anything. Yeah. They're supposed to be in the study hall over in the Marshall Sharp Center taking care of business. Yeah. They're not knuckleheading around the practice facility or anything like that. Yeah. So probably a good decision, and we'll have to wait and see.
Texan wants to know the status of Eli Howard. Is he back to 100%? I don't know if he's back to 100%, but he is back. He played in the first game. He has been practicing throughout the bye week, and this week they expect him to play. And honestly, I think he's going to be a big part of what they're hoping to accomplish, because really setting the edges last season against Arizona State was more of a problem than the interior, though the interior was a problem against Arizona State as well. So, I'm hoping Eli has a good game. Update on Travis Bruffy. It's a game time decision. I don't know if he's going to play. I really don't. I don't expect him to play, but if he does, I don't think he's going to start. I do think that Madison Ackerman is going to start again, but we'll have to see again with Houston if he's been able to put that weight back on, and if he's ready to go. And then the last update Texan asked for was Dwayne Johnson. Will we see his debut in this game? What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, he hasn't been a part of the conversation all that much. I mean, Juwan Delaney is the guy who's in the rotation right now, and Pancotti played. It's like most of the offensive Reichel played. So I'm not sure that Johnson is in the mix right now, and unless he did something over this last couple of weeks, we may not see him out there.
Yeah, I agree, Joe. All right, the final question comes from DH Tech. He asked, on Sunday morning, what 2 players will be getting pressed as Tech's offensive and defensive MVPs in the Arizona State game? Let's go offense first, Joe.
Okay. Again, with this offense and Arizona State's defense, you could just go so many ways.
Yeah.
We've got all sorts of different scenarios cooked up in our own heads.
We've already played out the whole game, how it's gonna
right.
happen.
Multiple different styles and scenarios too. But it's just that defensive backfield is just such a fat target. I mean, and so I think Nick Shimanek can just name his number pretty much. Whatever, you could see him with a massive record-setting sort of a day throwing the football. So that's not a very exciting or unusual pick or anything like that, but I think that's probably the most likely for the offense.
I'm going to go with the offensive line. And that's, speaking of not exciting, because we could throw Nisby out there, which is what I'm tempted to do, to go with our whole nasty Nisby Wildcat package that we've come up in our heads. And Shimanek's a great pick. Cootie, I mean, you can name 4 of the starting receivers. Willie's, I could see him going off. But I think when it comes down to, I think everybody's going to be excited that the offensive line not only kept Shimanek's jersey clean for the most part, and Arizona State can get after your quarterback now. That's something they can do. But I think they're going to do a good job this week, and I think they're going to run the ball. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. I think Tech may end up with more rushing yards than Arizona State this week. So to prove a point, as we were talking about in the spotlight. So I think that's who everybody's going to talk about. It's somebody that's a unit that myself, as much as anybody, has really been down on the offseason, but they looked really good for the most part in the Eastern Washington game. And there are signs that they're really coming together under the leadership of several of the players, but also Coach Brandon Jones, for sure.
Look, it's not an either-or deal with that offense. Maybe Shimanek throws for 600 yards and Tech rushes for 400.
That would be amazing. That would truly be amazing. Now, Joe, who's going to be your defensive star or MVP on Sunday morning after Arizona State?
Well, who knows? We may be heading the same direction on this one because last year the linebackers were crossed up, to say the very least. They were young. Jordan Brooks in particular. I think we've mentioned it elsewhere. It was a baptism by fire, really and you were in hell in Tempe, Arizona with devils around.
It was hot in hell, that's for sure.
That's right. So truly a baptism by fire. And I think those linebackers are going to be dialed in. They're going to be ready to go, and they're going to be much better prepared by virtue of having experience, if nothing else. And so I think Jordan Brooks has a monster game, and he's your defensive MVP.
Yeah, that would be my first pick, would be either one or both of those guys. So I'm going to go a different route just to do something different. Jay Sean, I think he exceeded my expectations. I have high expectations for Jay Sean. I think he's a very good player. He looked really good, like one of the best players in the Big 12 on defense, honestly, that first game. Now, that was Eastern Washington. I think he's going to come up. I think he's going to be, Mr. Turnover again this year, like he was, in 2015. I think he gets a strip fumble and an interception this week. So I called it. Jay Sean Johnson himself with 2 turnovers. I think the defense probably gets 3 because Arizona State's going to be pressing. But hey, Mighty Joe, another great mailbag. Great stuff from you as always. Great questions from y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and until next time.